The Law of Money, Chapter 6. Treat money like your best friend. There is a quiet truth most people never pause long enough to notice. Money listens to how you speak to it, and it remembers how you treat it, not in the mystical way that belongs to superstition, but in the deeply human way that mirrors every meaningful relationship we have ever known. Money responds less to force and more to familiarity, less to anxiety and more to trust. When money is treated like an enemy, it behaves like one, always hiding, always running, always slipping through the cracks of our hands. But when money is treated like a trusted friend, something softens, the relationship relaxes, the flow begins. Think about your best friend, not an acquaintance, not someone you tolerate, but the person you feel safe with. You do not bark orders at them. You do not shame them for arriving late or guilt them for leaving early. You do not obsessively check how much they own you emotionally. You speak to them with warmth, with honesty, with respect. Even when you are upset, you try to choose words that preserve the relationship. You understand that relationships are living things. They respond to tone, intention, and consistency. Now, ask yourself quietly and without judgment, how do you talk to money? Many people speak to money with contempt or desperation. You never stay. You never enough. Why are you always leaving me? Or the speak with fear, I must hold on to you tightly or I will not survive. Still others speak with resentment. You cause all my problems. None of these tones invite closeness. None of them encourage return. If money were a person, would it want to stay in a home filled with accusation and anxiety? A best friend is welcome, not interrogated. When your friend comes over, you do not stand at the door counting how many minutes they will stay. You prepare a seat, you offer tea, you make space. This is the first lesson of treating money like a friend. How you receive it matters as much as how much arrives. When money comes into your life through work, a gift, a refund, a surprise opportunity, do you welcome it or do you immediately tense up? Do you receive it with gratitude or do you instantly attach fear to it? Many people receive money and in the same breath begin worrying about how it will disappear. That worry changes the quality of the relationship. It turns arrival into anxiety instead of appreciation. A friend who is never allowed to rest will eventually stop visiting. Welcoming money does not mean worshipping it, just as loving a friend does not mean surrendering your life to them. It means acknowledging its presence with respect. It means saying inwardly, you are welcome here, you have a place. When money feels welcome, it stays longer. When it stays longer, it circulates more thoughtfully. think about how you spend time with your best friend. You do not see them only in emergencies. You do not ignore them when things are calm and cling to them when life falls apart. Healthy relationships are maintained through regular, conscious presence. You check in, you share meals, you talk about ordinary things, not just crises. Most people only talk to money when something is wrong, when bills pile up, when fear spikes, when scarcity shouts. In peaceful seasons, money becomes invisible. There is no reflection, no intentional conversation, no gratitude. This creates a pattern where money associates you with stress. Over time, the relationship becomes reactive rather than grounded. Treating money like a friend means being present with it even when nothing is wrong. It means knowing where money is, how it moves, and what it supports. Not with obsession, but with awareness. Awareness is emotional equivalent of spending time together. It builds familiarity and trust. When you sit with your finances calmly, reviewing them without self-attack, you are telling money, I can handle you. I am not afraid of you. Money, like any relationship, gravitates towards stability. Consider also how you host your friends. You don't invite someone into chaos and expect them to feel comfortable. If your home is cluttered, tense, or hostile, even the closest friend will feel uneasy. Money is the same. It does not thrive in the environments filled with disorder, secrecy, or shame. A home that welcomes money is not necessarily luxurious. It is intentional. Bills are acknowledged, not ignored. Spending has meaning, not guilt. Saving is an act of care, not fear. Giving is done with joy, not obligation. These qualities create emotional safety, and safety is what invites return. This is why the way you spend money matters as much as the way you earn it. When you spend money with resentment, it feels pushed away. When you spend money unconsciously, it leaks out without purpose. But when you spend money the way you would spend time with a friend, intentionally, appreciatively, aligned with your values, it strengthens the bond. You do not begrudge your friend a meal if you invited them. You do not feel guilty for enjoying time together. In the same way, money spent on nourishment, growth, rest, or meaningful connection is not lost. It is relationship maintenance. Money used this way does not disappear. It transforms and eventually returns in another form. This is where many people misunderstand the law of circulation. They think letting go of money means recklessness, but letting go is not abandonment, it is trust. In every healthy relationship, there is an unspoken understanding that connection does not end simply because you part ways for the night. You trust that the relationship exists beyond the moment. Holding money too tightly suffocates the relationship. Hoarding when driven by fear, tells money, I do not trust life, and money, reflecting that belief, stagnates. Stagnation is the opposite of wealth. Wealth is movement, giving, receiving, and renewing. Letting money circulate does not mean giving until you are empty. It means allowing money to move without panic, knowing that your relationship with it is ongoing, just as you trust that a friend will come back even after leaving. You trust money to return when treated with respect and wisdom. Trust is built through experience. Many of us learn early lessons that broke this trust. Childhood memories of money are often wrapped in emotion. New Year red envelopes, coins saved in clay piggy banks, moments of joy mixed with parental anxiety. We watch how adults spoke about money. We absorb it, their fear, their tension, their silence. Without realizing it, we inherited not just beliefs about money, but emotional tones. If money was spoken in whispers, you learn secrecy. If money was fought over, you learn conflict. If money was scarce, you learn clinging. These patterns shape how you relate to money now, just as early friendships shape adult relationships. But relationships can be healed. Treating money like a best friend is an act of reparenting yourself. You begin to speak differently. You replace blame with curiosity. You replace fear with responsibility. You replace control with cooperation. Slowly, money stops feeling like a threat and starts feeling like a companion. A companion does not ruin you. A companion walks beside you. This shift changes everything. When money is no longer your master or your enemy, you stop chasing it with desperation. You stop measuring your worth by its presence or absence. You engage with it from dignity, and dignity is magnetic. Money returns more often to those who are not frantic about its absence. It stays longer with those who do not resent its presence. It grows in environments where it is respected, not worshipped or feared. Friendship requires boundaries. You do not let your best friend drain you endlessly. Likewise, treating money well means setting clear limits. You decide what money is for and what it is not for. You do not allow it to buy your peace, your integrity, or your relationships. When money knows its place in your life, it behaves better. Chaos often arises not from lack of money, but from lack of boundaries with it. In Eastern wisdom, wealth is never separated from harmony. The richest life is not the one who the most accumulation, but the one with the smoothest flow. Rivers do not hold water, they move it, and because they move it, they always full. Money is like that river. When blocked with fear, it flooded or dries up. When allowed to move naturally, it nourishes everything it touches, including you. To speak to money the way you speak to someone you love. Spend time with it thoughtfully, welcoming it into an orderly, respectful space. Let it go without panic. Trust that it knows the way back. In the end, money does not want to be chased, it wants to be chosen. It wants to be treated like a partner in your life, not a tyrant, not a savior, but a friend who walks with you, comes when invited, leaves when needed, and always remembers where it felt welcome. That is the quiet secret of abundance. Thank you so much, and I hope you like it. Please click like and subscribe to my channel.